welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is map number 3 now between Astralis and tyLoo, and it's been kind of a battle a little bit back and forth. tyLoo won the first map. Now second map here on Overpass went in favor of Astralis, and I'd say they made a respectable comeback. They sort of proved their point.
Yes, definitely did. I think this I'm so excited for Dust 2 as a deciding map as well, and just like the way Astralis has historically always played this, the high octane just ability of tyLoo. I want to see them open this up like they did at Mirage, just like that crazy aggression, crazy trading. I think the scary part, if you're rooting for tyLoo, is the fact that Astralis seemed to really adapt well on Overpass to kind of some of the aggressiveness that they had been showing up for 2 maps. So you have to wonder, does tyLoo have it in them to adjust again, or are they going to keep trying to just kind of break through that brick wall?
Yeah, I think by now what we've realized is if there's a smoke up, or if there's a, if there's a corner, even if it's far up on the map that you haven't checked, chances are there's going to be a crazy tyLoo player on the other side ready to jump through or to shoot you in the side of the face. So yeah, they've been doing really good work with that. Just the coming through smokes at sort of more or less random timings can be very hard if you're the one defending on the other side.
Yes.
And if you run in parts of the map where most teams would try and be silent and walk, and you make it work, you don't get caught, no one hears you, you can get into positions where no one will expect you to be. So they've made a good job of it right now. But
and that's happened a number of times. I mean, even on Overpass, where Astralis seemed like they were more and more prepared for it and ready for it and thinking and having that in the back of their mind, tyLoo was still able to make it work, here and there. It will be a big test. We have yet to see. I mean, it's been DD today. X-Hura's had some good rounds. We have yet to see Bentet really kind of blow up into the server, don't we? If he shows up in this map, that would make things very interesting. Yeah,
now would certainly be the time for it, wouldn't it? It's the kind of thing that that you have to hope from their point of view that they can bring out, because this is the map where he could do so much work.
Oh yeah.
Of course, we know all of the Astralis players and how good they can be with the right weapons and the right aim, but some of these Chinese players and Indonesian players on this team are really good, and Dust 2 is the map for that kind of play. Get the aim battles out. Really curious to see how this is going to play out.
Can I tell you something honestly, Anders?
Go on.
I think Astralis is just going to body bag him here.
All right. What's the definition of a body bag, Moses? How bad? What are we talking about?
I'm thinking it's going to be like the Overpass scoreline, except it's not going to be that, this could have been closer type thing. I think it will be like around 16-7, 16-8.
Okay. But even worse.
Yeah, but like it's going to feel worse,
All right. It could be.
I hope that doesn't happen. I just get that feeling.
We'll see. We'll see. I used to have one big point of criticism for Astralis on this map before it was remade, which was their B bomb site defense. I never really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember you were very much on that, anti-B bomb site defense train.
Yeah, I just thought it was something lacking in it.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you talk about the style that tyLoo has. This is a map historically that lends itself to individual and just high skill and high octane stuff. Astralis was the first team on this map. Again, this is much like your thing going back a couple of years, but in the old iteration, Astralis was one of the first teams to show that you could win this map in a very tactical heavy style. I would love a B rush. I'm so happy right now.
Yes, hold the phone, and they're all coming. Magus in the back. He has a couple of seconds more, and he's going to get run over by tyLoo. Dupree trying to help him out. Magus is gone as well, and what a great opening. It is a classic on this map. Rushing B. Everybody in the Counter-Strike world and beyond absolutely knows what this is about. Device and Sip trying to see if they can bring it back, but I'm not sure how that's going to happen. There's no reason to really peek or fight or do anything right now if you're tyLoo. Just wait for them to show up, and they're both going to try and come through the tunnel. Bit of a fight there and a bit of damage dished out, and yeah, they know by now they're going to have to escape. What a great way to begin. A classic moment.
I'm so happy about that. That is great. Good stuff from tyLoo. Nothing fancy. Just get into that bomb site. Here's what's cool. They even had a delayed flashbang come in. When they made initial contact, they had like the 3rd or 4th player just tossed up a flashbang into the sky. Anyone who was rotating in through window was going to be blind and not able to help that player inside the bomb site. So pretty cool stuff. It's actually very important Device keeps that kit. That can be something special. And Zipmix as well, I wonder if he got away with full armor. He did not. So he can't have that easy upgrade. But Device can to head armor if he wants to. And if they get close enough, they have a kit to work with, so that's going to influence a buy in this round.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Device, without having to spend money on armor, can invest in a Deagle, and he already has the kit and the armor, so he invested in a Deagle. He's down to 1150. He had a smoke as well, but he's still going to be able to have the AWP. Oh, those are great nades. The one falls short, but they still can't clean up DD. He's just too much of a monster.
Definite opportunity there, and the health lacking on those two tyLoo players can come into play a little bit later on. Bomb is over at long, and they're trying to see if they can bring that up. It looks like they've got really good positioning right now on the tyLoo side. Glaive getting one kill. Mo kind of needs to stay alive, and, well, does a good job of it. Those smokes preventing two of the players from the Astralis side from making any impact here. So, good adjustment, good recovery from tyLoo. They should be able to sort of pick this one up.
Oh, you go for this, I think. Bomb's not even planted yet. You're already at the bomb site with the rifle, with the Galil. It's not ideal, but again, that kit is going to prompt them to at least go for something. DD's got to be careful. Stay poised. Don't peek out too far. Oh, and he's done it. Device has given him an opportunity.
It's a really big problem now. A 2-on-2 jumping down to the low ground is Sip. Device still up there with the Galil. And Extrude falling back a little bit. Mo revealing himself. Sip taking one down, and now it's Extrude. He's in long. There's no cover here. He's out in the open, and they're going to double peek him. They bring it back, kit and all. Oh, that stings really deep on tyLoo.
Just the smallest of mistakes. DD just going out far too wide, and Device nailing a stunner. Gets him the opening into the bomb site. Still a great chance in a 2-on-2 to keep that in their favor, but oh, that is unfortunate. tyLoo, that is a rough way to start this half after you win the pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, losing the second map and then probably a small burst of celebration as they win the pistol, but then now you
right
gotta
back
wonder,
down to reality.
Right back down.
They had everything they wanted in that round.
Doesn't feel good, does it?
Yeah, few Deagles, a couple of them, just two. Glock and mostly unarmored tyLoo players in this round. Just the Deagles have invested in that armor. They've still got a decent amount of money. Next round's going to be a buy. I'd love to get something done here. Zipnik's not getting caught now. Pair of kills for him to start this out, which is probably more important than you'd think, considering he's had a slow start to the day.
Yeah, he'd love to just have a slightly easier game. Maybe one where just some of the things go his way. Glaive was a bit aggressive, coming out of long to get that one. So 2-1 in their favor, and AK's back in the hands, mostly of tyLoo. Is it one UMP there?
Well, not a lot of utility, so Device can have influence early on. There's 4 smokes, but only 1 flashbang, so it's going to be hard to force him off a corner. Maybe able to block off some choke points, but it's not going to scare Device too much. 3 players in the upper B tunnels coming down the... Oh, Dupree's so blind. That's the 1 flashbang they have, and it worked, but they didn't get the kill. Double kill for Dupree. Goes for a third, but somebody finally shuts him down. But a great advantage for Astralis.
Yes, if they had known that he was hit by that flashbang, obviously they would have immediately got rid of him, but that's kind of brutal. Grenade goes a bit too far, but still peeking in towards Device is somebody, and he's going to be going down. Device feeling it, he knows, and taking down Ben's head and closing out the round. Oh God, Mose, you might have been onto something.
Just spanking him. Bad baby.
Powdering that.
Really nice sequence from Device. Bentet even sees him crossing over and gets almost baited into a peek before he can realize what he's doing. 3-1. Here we go. It has begun, Anders, in the words of Shang Tsung.
It's going to be very, very tricky, I think, for tyLoo now to get some of that confidence back, because it really feels like Astralis, they're quite fired up at the moment. It's a good return, though. Glaive took a bit long with the first kill, and Device smartly not sticking around. You really don't want to find in that long corner. Maybe now he's got to get back up, but I'd be careful right now. There's no real reason for them to take this fight so far up on long. Good counter flash from a teammate. Another one to follow it up, but they still lose way too much. That was slightly silly.
I don't mind it. Heat check from Device, going for some of those fights, going for some of those repeats. No, I mean, the good thing was, even if they lose players, right, it's expensive, but there was no real danger of that weapon being, like, salvaged and them turning the round in their favor. All of Astralis had rotated over and was ready to go. That's the other thing. I think Astralis is going to start adapting on their CT sides, having quick rotations, because tyLoo across these first 2 maps have been very grouped up. It's not like they're doing something like these fancy fakes, 2 players here, probing multiple locations at once. You can kind of jump on the rotations with a lot of bodies, because tyLoo is mostly, the point of attack is just 1 point of attack, and it's under heavy assault. but you know exactly where it's going to come from.
You might well be right. Boosted up. Classic position here for Magisk. Usually there's a smoke in front, and indeed there it is. See if he can try and look over. Can he get the one kill? Oh god, that's so much damage. That was a great attempt from tyLoo. Really, really quick, but that position, the Mason, is meant to counter exactly that play. It is the direct counter to that kind of strategy being run by tyLoo. Here's another thing that might be worth pointing out. Oh, Bentet, though, getting a kill on device. Still slightly in play. Get back to it at the freeze time. Excurate, hoping to clear out CT spawn.
Look at the positioning of Astralis, though. This is going to be so hard. Excurate moving up. Op zoned in on CT spawn. There's the kill for 3, and now the peek from Magisk on contact. Well done.
Normally, that smoke that went up in front of Magisk normally comes in with a really long signaling period, because it bounces off the walls, then it lands on the ground like 2 or 3 times, so you know it's coming. tyLoo actually did a cool thing where they walk through those middle doors and then they throw it right in front, so it happens immediately. So if Magisk wasn't here already, he would have had no time to be boosted or anything like that. There would have been a very, very little delay time between that happening and the B rush coming. So that's cool for them to try and cut down that time. But on the other side, he was in position, so kind of got cancelled immediately. But you'll see later on, I'm sure, that I mean either that or Astralis is going to try and do it where they do the long version of that. And
you that second smoke as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can really see it coming.
I think we've seen teams trying to Molotov that position as well at that point. That position that Magisk was in, so that he can't just sit up there. Because when he's crouched, it's such a hard position to clear out. 2 opening kills for Astralis, and tyLoo being funneled right into the blender in middle. He's going to have a field day, not with the no-scope, and Nick bails him out of a tough spot. 6-1 now. Astralis is off and running. They've got a lot of cash. They really haven't been tested a whole lot since they won that second round.
Yeah, things are getting out of control, Moses. The Vikings are back. They're here again. They don't look much like Vikings on the Astralis side, but
they don't. Not even a little bit.
Can't pull it off, but still, they play like them in the server. I guess that's the metaphor.
That's the important part. Yeah, video games are a great thing.
Device. That's a boost on the other side to look over the box, so they're not going to see device position until it's too late.
But I mean, this is the tough thing: is like you have 3 players at top mid as well, right? Just use one of those flashbangs to force device off the corner. There's so much work with that stack to prevent taking damage on catwalk, and that one mistake allows device to get the advantage. And here comes that aggression, and now that they're just getting battered and picked off by these ops, all of a sudden this overwhelming aggression that looks so cool on maps like Overpass and Mirage, now that there's space and the ops are doing so much work, it just kind of it looks a little bit silly and a little far too individual. Dupree's now shrinking the map as well. He's flanked all the way to T-spawn.
Yeah, what a powerful flank. Seeing down the middle, so they know that that smoke that was down CT spawn, has nothing to do with anything. They see that there's nobody in there. Instead, it's going to be on the catwalk, trying to get close device. Taking out DD, and the spray from Sip, even though he couldn't see anyone, is just fine. Triple kill for device. 7-1 scoreline. My god.
Dev is back, and he's ready to close this out. The ops just seem... tyLoo doesn't have an answer for even Magisk getting fired up now. And, I mean, Glaive just laughing.
He's been incredible this whole series, device. Like, even when they were losing on the other map, he was the only one on the Mirage. They were still doing... He was still the one doing pretty well. It's good to have him back, isn't it?
It is always fun. Oh, he spots that first player, ignores it for a little bit, feels the pressure, gonna fall away. tyLoo's using everything. They're jumping all their utility, and Glaive can't get back around the corner, but Device avenges him. So many nades used to take this long portion. Look at the rotation from Astralis. They've evacuated B. 1 player in mid, 3 boosting up in towards the A bomb site. This is gonna be another strong defense, and only 1 Molotov to use. Device gonna challenge.
You called it, Moses. They're gonna be going for quick rotations. They line up. Oh no! Sipnix! He gets the 1, but there's a team kill in the middle of it, and that gets shut down. Another triple for device, but Sip obviously almost decimating the entire team there. He's just laughing away. But you said it. They are just going to rotate because they know it's not going to be a fake, and there was no one in B. Yeah. They were just all out of it.
And that's the tough part. If you're tyLoo at the moment, you have a really weird thing where you're like, okay, you can feel that they're over-rotating, and you probably started to feel it on Overpass. Well, now you have to do the thing where you want to throw a fake, but if you're not having a lot of success, which they're not, at finding opening kills and finding kills on the other side of the map, your fakes are going to be pointless. So So if you can't find a kill to take the attention away, then you do need to stay grouped up. So not entirely sure what the answer is going to be. They might not even have one. I mentioned I thought this was going to be a stomping for Astralis. Oh, good spam, but Dupree just laughs in his face.
Yeah, he had a slightly bigger stick on the other side, didn't he?
that Teddy Roosevelt thing.
Yeah.
Holding the doors. Glaive getting the headshot on a Bentet, and Zipnik's waiting patiently. And yeah, I mean, tyLoo is just not able to read where the next point of contact is going to come from Astralis, because now you have Astralis, while they looked a little bit timid on Mirage, now they've kind of woken up into this series in a big way. They're here. They have Device playing so well. They're confident. They're going to start getting aggressive and willing to take fights and take risks. And if you're tyLoo, you just don't know where to look next.
Yeah, this is the version of Astralis that the rest of the field right now in the tournament probably don't want to see that much.
Or Device at 16-2, and like, yeah, I mean, he was there in 8 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of want to, wish they could have stayed at the lower level that they were at earlier, but could also just be a reflection of the fact that, you know, tyLoo's map pool obviously is not as deep as Astralis is, and that might come into play a little bit more. So, some bumps in the road right now for the T side. Device standing up. A grenade. Is it going to go short enough? Do some decent damage, actually.
This gives the opportunity for a dink kill. Somebody wants to chase that down through the Molotov. He ducks underneath so the Device couldn't see it. It almost catches him off. Doesn't want to keep going from there, waiting for the smoke. He's getting naded to oblivion. Molotov, now he's forced forward. And he's just chilling in the smoke. What a weird scenario if you're somebody.
I'm not sure if he's chilling so much as just panicked, hyperventilating inside.
Crapping his pants.
Look at all of this is just grenade damage on somebody, Mo and Didi. It's just grenades that now Astralis don't have any grenades left, and this B push could actually be great.
This lurk from somebody could actually be great. He somehow got all the way into that corner, and Astralis has no idea. He can wreck them. They just need the openings on B.
Yep. If the rotation starts to happen, Sip's going to be walking in, and somebody sees it. Oh, he's going to go for the knife. That's a good way to kill the robot. Dupree staying alive for a kill there. Magus got one as well. That's kept at least Astralis with a chance. I'm going to try and see if they can run away. I'm kind of shocked that somebody actually made his way out. So, Device and Glaive, do you hunt for this? They have the money, of course.
I mean, you can. I wouldn't.
It's Beyond Dust 2, right?
What's that?
We don't like retaking Beyond Dust 2 ever.
They're just so far away, and the fact that somebody had that kind of corner or that angle, and you know he can be somewhere in mid, he can cut off. Look how much time they've had to take just because they're worried about that. So I think more than anything, you send Glaive up close, Device far back. You just try and take some guns away. You're not actually going for the retake. You just want to, one, obviously get the op out when you start to hear the footsteps of the rotation, and you try and freeze him inside the bomb site. And yes, Axford's now got to make his move, and you're going to get 2 players going down to this bomb. That's a well-deserved death from Glaive. Accomplishes a lot.
Yep, he absolutely is worth it. They have, what, like 2 people on 16k at the beginning of this round, so no problem in terms of losing it. But they got the stab in on Sipnik. That must feel good. I
cannot believe after all that happened to somebody that he was actually not only able to get out of that and into that position, but find a kill in the round.
Yeah. Surprised Sipnik didn't check the corner. I was expecting that. Oh. That is very dangerous. He actually goes for it again. This is slightly nuts. He could have been dead 3 or 4 different ways. Ooh. Somebody coming in with a headshot following up kind of ends up working out. The grenade, oh, it doesn't even catch him. Wow. I'm really impressed that they've made it out with this. I would say if you don't get that corner at long peak, don't go back for seconds. And certainly not for thirds.
Well, Device, he's going to get his chance. Oh, the flick up doesn't work. Somebody's close. The deagle's out. Oh, he gets that kill. Great reaction, but that's too much to ask. He had the idea. He actually glanced in that direction, just missed the timing by maybe a half second. Mo want to lurk with only 17 HP, which makes this a 2-on-2 at the A bomb site. Dupree is going to be the closest one for Mo to kill, and yeah, that's going to happen. That should shut things down, though you never know. A couple low HP players.
And the grenade is going to be landing on the 100 HP player, though. And Bentet. Otherwise, there would have been a big opening. Yeah, double AWP right now. Magus just maybe again hoping to take a couple of people with him. That's not going to happen. What a round from tyLoo. That's 2 in a row now, and they're starting to wake up a little bit. There is such a long way to go, but
the real problem is the fact that Astralis was so dominant for what, their 9 rounds in a row that they had. They got so much money. So even if you're tyLoo, you're like, yeah, we just won 2 rounds straight. That's all well and good. But, I mean, Astralis can just continue to buy pretty much anything they want. They have another buy after this round. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough to win a round or 2 off them at the moment if you're tyLoo. And all of a sudden you've got to win 4 or 5 before you have a reprieve.
I've got to say as well, if Execute tries that kind of play again a couple of times, I'd say good chance he just doesn't really weigh that word.
Or if there's a second player at the corner, I think Xyp9x was far back to throw a pop flash for Glaive. If he had been close there and just swung out while that fight was happening, yeah, he goes down. Or at least a 1-for-1 trade.
See if they can bring us a bit more. It's not too late for tyLoo to come back into this half. They can still make it work. If they get up to 6 rounds, that's a bit of a base to work off of. I'm not sure it's great on Dust 2, but it's absolutely manageable. Again, trying for that default mid control. There's a bit of a boost on the other side, but they're actually going to give up on it and making a lot of noise in the process.
Well, 3 players pretty much concentrated around mid, and look at that. Great nade from Dupree right over the top of the box on the other side, and that's a very common position for players to be in. DD down very, very low. Looks like they want to split this A bomb site. 3 players poised outside along, including the bomb. Mo and DD making their way up catwalk.
Yeah, good timing on the smoke for Glaive. Going to put some pressure on them. Now they have to all hold for that one to go away. Glaive is so ready for a flashbang to come out. Is he Execute is setting it up? Is he going to turn for it? He's hiding right inside of the smoke. They're going to bump into it if this keeps up. And he's going to go for the early spray. Now he knows that they're there with 45 seconds. That's a big tell for Glaive. He's still going to get flashed, but he can't get back in time. Somebody will run him down. Xyp with the Molotov kill, but it doesn't matter. 3 kills in favor of tyLoo. Such a big opening. Can Dupree stop them? Not even close. It looked like they almost lined up, but that's a big hit.
That's actually really well done because Glaive, he dodged the first 2 flashbangs, and it's the 3rd one that caught him. And Glaive just had, how much more can I do? How many more flashbangs can I turn from? Very well done. I mean, now we're starting to see it. Now tyLoo, they seem to have, you know, calmed down a little bit. They're not losing a whole lot of players to these AWPs, and they're finally having the numbers to play the trade game and to actually do that style of attack that they love.
9-4. It's really good recovery.
One more buy to burn through for tyLoo. Astralis, no cash after this, and yeah, they're peeking right into device.
Okay. Dupree out-dueled long range with the AK-47 there. It's a great shot. Now I'll try to see if they can hold on to that mid-control. They've left Captain Mo in there. That's always interesting, because if Magus calls for backup, someone has to check that corner. Glaive is coming in, though. Oh, Glaive's position at top mid. This is going to be down to timing. Very, very close now. Magus, he doesn't get the kill. Xyp will take down Captain Mo, and now it's a 3-on-3 and 14th round, and Astralis should definitely go for this. Oh, the timing against Bentet. Just incredible. Bomb is going to be going down, but holding on to this with only 2 people is not going to be easy.
Yeah, especially now that Glaive has that AWP posted up in those B halls. This is going to be tough. He's got him trapped on platform, and once this smoke clears, there's a Molotov, 2 smokes for the Astralis side. I don't know how tyLoo can hold this.
No, especially the grenades, you're right. Going to be a really big problem. One going in deep, and there's the kill coming through. Now it's all on somebody. He's got a 1-on-2. Not a lot of time left now for Astralis, and they almost line up for the kill. That could have been beautiful. Going to find it in the last couple of seconds. He does have a kit, so it will be the round here for Astralis, 10-4. But, man, that was very close. I almost wonder if he could have hid instead of fighting.
Certainly could have, right? Play the bomb as a timer, and I mean, once at that point, Astralis has to run at you, so you've got the sound cues to kind of help you play that a little bit better. Tough call to make, obviously a high-pressure situation, and things get confusing in those. 10-4, nice flank from Glaive. That was the kill, that op on Bentet. That's a bold route to run when you only have 17 HP, as the way Bentet did. Either way, some good shots from somebody, gave him a chance. Looking for their 5th in this round, but a solid CT defensive side from Astralis, powered by that 9-0 run off the back of Device with the AWP. He's what, 16-2? He's now 19-4.
Oh, I think you heard DD, but not able to peek it all the way. Instead, going to use that smoke, in fact, to just stick around and See if he can make his way in. This is really, really high-risk play. Sip is there to help him out. Goes for the repeat with the C-set 75. How did they get away with this?
I love it. That is phenomenal teamwork from Astralis. There's somebody pushing up. Glaive in the air. Somebody finds it blind. Zipnik's looking through the gap in the smoke and just going to boost Device up. 3 players out long. Obviously, Device can't know that. Worried about the second prong coming in. Close flashbang. Is it going to be good enough? Zipnik's not going to peek with it. Now he knows they're coming. Massive gap in that smoke. You could drive a truck through it.
Yep. He takes a grenade to the face, but he's going to be just fine. Device waiting up. Dupree gets a kill on somebody. The 15th round here in Bentet, trying to see if he can fight his way back into it and get a little bit more done. Extra getting a big kill. The spray is in, though, and so much trouble. Bentet, he can't find any safe spot. He gets his way out, taking down Sipnix. He actually managed to survive that. Stuck on the bomb for a good long while there. And now it's him versus Dupree. Bentet not quite sure where he's coming from. He was in CT spawn when he got the first kill, Dupree, so it's been a couple of seconds, though, and he seems to be reading this very well. Dupree has a kipper. Look at the off angle. Beautiful from Bentet. Triple. And we've got Stunner with us over at the players.
I am over here at the players, Anders. Thank you very much for those delightful words. You guys are doing a spectacular job. Moreover, I appreciate you, as does everybody watching this broadcast. And if you didn't know this, Astralis has been sitting in a pretty good driver's seat here as we do look to continue this map. Now, shifting a little bit of focus away from that, the next match coming up, it's going to be a little bit of Ghost and Navi. They actually just arrived and are setting up here on site right now. Should be doing vetoes just about any time. However, I'm going to have to ask you at home, or perhaps you in Twitch chat, who do you think is going to win this? Is Astralis going to close it out here? Are they going to make it to the big arena? That's what it's going to be all about. Jason, get us back in game.
Thanks, Tona. I will. Great job down there over at the player area. I think you're doing a phenomenal job as well.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Still no chicken hat, but maybe...
That is a bit messed up. I figured he would have gone, like, got a chicken mask or something during the break.
Yeah, maybe.
I would have done it for him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You gotta be careful what you say, Moses. That's leading you down a dark path, I'm just gonna say. That was, I don't think that was the first half that tyLoo were hoping for, but I think they managed to recover it just a bit. It could have been much worse, it really felt like.
You could see it in the score of Device. As I mentioned, that 9-0 run, he was 16-2. And once he kind of faded off, it's not that he like kind of cooled down or faded off, it's that tyLoo just stopped presenting the opportunity to get picked off by him. And that's when they started getting some rounds on the board, is when they actually had the manpower to attack bomb sites.
Oh, dude, this is dangerous. He's used all of his bullets. Now he's reloading as they're running in, and they're going to get close. Double grenade to take down the double D. Works out perfectly. Extra goes down as well to Sip. That's a very powerful, and they've even left Dupree at top mid. So any retake right now has to deal with this fact. I mean, I don't know what you could do against this, but shooting. This is actually something that a lot of people do. When you shoot through that smoke with a USP, they're counting on the other side. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's a classic push shot as well. The double nade, the shallow smoke, and just toss it back there. It's a popular place to be. 11-5 now. Much different from the first map. All smiles, no frustration. Everyone's feeling good. Just maybe some slow starts. We saw it yesterday a little bit, I feel, in the first map. Saw it here today, obviously.
Yep. And
tyLoo's like, give me that afternoon semifinal.
That's what they want. 11-5 right now. I mean, I can't come up with a really good scenario where Astralis don't make this work on the T side. That T side on Dust 2 historically, at least the core of it has been pretty good. Hard to deal with, especially when you don't have weapons.
I was going to say, look at it the other way as well. The CT sides of tyLoo haven't been great either throughout the series, through both maps. So
yeah,
they won the first map off their T side. And Dust 2 is very difficult to have a strong CT side on. It's not an easy map.
No, not at all. Unlike a bunch of other maps where the CTs have the benefit of having sort of fairly big choke points, it's very hard to hold chokes on Dust 2. It can be, at least.
Well, this one just naturally spreads the defense out, right?
Yeah. Definitely does. 12-5, and it will be another round here before tyLoo can actually buy weapons. That double up might help them, though. That could be really interesting if they can, if they want to go for it. That could be something to work with.
If you want to pull it out. Device is going to stick on the USP, saving money, not investing in a weapon.
That's greedy.
It's not greedy. It's investment planning. All right.
He wants even more out of this investment. almost could have had it. Instead, Glaive will get his double. 13-5. So it's a tough game right now. Somebody and Bentet and also Mo are playing well. Didi, who was carrying them so far in that first map, is
even in the second map he was playing well.
Yeah, he's run out of power a little bit here. And it is straight into the double orb. So yeah, do they want to fight in the middle? I do love it when the CTs challenge it, even though it's so scary.
It is fun. But unfortunately, it's already a B rush, and there goes Didi. Zipnik has taken his power. It's the Monstar from Space Jam. He's stolen it from him. Nade's coming into the window, and Extrait can't see anything. And they might want to consider saving. 2 players very low. They do have 1 kit, but no flashbangs to try and retake this. And you have the double up still, but not anymore. You need to get out of there right now.
Yep, sticking around for a bit too long. Device here in the middle. He's going to win that fight against Captain Mo as well. No head armor on him. Immediately dies, and that's both of the AWPs gone. So I'm kind of scared. Your prediction seems to have been really good, Moses. That annoys me a little bit. That's frustrating to me.
There's something wrong with the world.
Yeah.
I usually have good predictions. You guys have a nice propaganda game. I know it's Chad mentioning the 100% prediction that I haven't made since 2015 in Dubai.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was cool.
Fake news.
All of it.
14-5. Hold on to the rifles. They are the only thing you're really going to have in this next round. Actually, they will just buy up with the FAMASas, but it is going to be very, very scrappy. The grenades are going to be almost entirely absent, so could be worse, but it's a long stretch away from that double orb that they had in the last round.
I think at this point, we'll wait for that for this round. We'll see what goes on here. Glaive going to be aggressive, going to get out long. Dodges the flashbangs coming over, has a blind opponent, but he's far more blind. And the rest, I mean, he calls out the information. 2 to 3 long. Mo's going to get caught out in the open. Zipnix already has the wide angle, and that means there's no route back into this bomb site for tyLoo. Somebody just has to kind of play it close up.
Where do Astralis go on the after plan, though? If they all go to catwalk, that's a big problem. Yeah, some of them have to stay on the bomb site just to have a bit of a presence. Device not realizing there's a guy right in front, sneaking on in. Didi gets a he gets a bullet to the face, and the X-Crit going to be going down. Dupree single-handedly turning this round in their favor, and that should be the end of it. Bentet going to be dropped by Device. It looked like somebody on that ramp could have maybe jumped out and got the kill on Device, but they were waiting for something else.
We might as well put this in context. 15-5, obviously, we're going to see this one get wrapped up by Astralis. So, like, we have that cool 1-map upset, but has anything actually changed for you with the tyLoo storyline? Because it feels like, to me, like it's been the same for a couple of years now. It's a team where they come in and they have that cool, like, 1-map, maybe 2-map upset potential over good teams, but they can't actually, you know, accomplish anything. Like, we haven't seen any, like, vast... Like, maybe improvements in play style, but nothing in terms of... Oh, my God. Nothing in terms of where they can actually go in the context of a whole tournament.
Yeah, you didn't even finish answering that question, Moses, by the time the round is over. It's
a bit long-winded.
No, there seems to be, like, pretty much one gear, which is... It's pretty crazy Counter-Strike. It's going to be fast and aggressive, and we're going to run through smokes, and we're going to beat all of your timings. But once that doesn't work, we have nothing. It's going to be 16-5 in favor of Astralis, and they're going to make their way through, taking down tyLoo on 3 maps. I do want to give tyLoo credit. I still think individually they've got so much to offer, but they need more depth, right? It can't be that shallow. It can't be just one thing, and then if that doesn't work, we're out, you know?
Right, but still, I mean, a very fun team to watch at the very least. They play an exciting style. And obviously, it's always fun to see Astralis tested and pushed to the brink as they were in that first map. But you could just kind of feel it, even in the second half of the first map, going into Overpass. That monster of Astralis was just, it was waking up, it was rising, and that wasn't going to go well ever.
It really was, and you have to wonder, how do you get that level of depth in the Chinese scene? Like, how do you make sure that they have somebody who can teach them that? Because obviously they understand the game, and mechanically they're good at the game.
Yeah.
So they just need like a
you need some stability in the scene, right? The teams have been making a lot of roster changes. I mean, this one tyLoo's been relatively stable. You need someone with experience, which they don't really have, and you need that hardcore experienced personality to take the reins and really hand it over. Either way, we're gonna go back to the birthday boy, Alex. How you celebrating, baby?
Got myself a cup of coffee and some Counter-Strike. It's actually been quite a nice birthday.
It wasn't that we weren't wishing you happy birthday, it's just we already had wished you happy birthday, and I don't know if doing it on air was like appropriate. Maybe you didn't want everyone to know that you just turned 32.
32.
Imagine.
Do you know what? That would probably, judging by the tweets I get, people would probably be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
The reason that I think that's the case is because you're so mature.
Mature,
that people probably
or I
think.
look really tired. I'm looking at that.
I'm laughing over here.
Oh.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, I'm laughing.
What are you laughing about?
Because he's 17 today.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
funny.
One of these days. Anyway, Counter-Strike happened, and you know what? If we were coming back between maps, we would have been flabbergasted at the end of Mirage. Because I mean, help me understand this, guys. Of course, Pimp and Sponge, I didn't introduce you, but this was a map that nobody saw coming, at least not the result.
I think Chad said it in the beginning, you don't want to give tyLoo Mirage, right? That's the best map, and that's the only map they have upset potential on. So I'm quite surprised to see Astralis doing that. So it tells me two things. Either they don't feel comfortable on their cache, or they want to show the world that they can play Mirage even after yesterday. And we saw today that's just not the case.
Yeah, I'm really quite confused by the fact that you'd let that through against tyLoo. Even if you play cache and you don't feel like hugely confident on it yourself, that just it's a map that they're okay on it. Mirage is the only map which I would consider a home map for a team like tyLoo, and allowing it to come through it's just a question mark. But I guess they maybe wanted to see if yesterday was a blip on the radar. Clearly not. Clearly it's a big question mark for them in this tournament.
Yeah, interestingly enough, it says victory for tyLoo, of course, just in case you've just joined us, that is, of course, a victory for the Danes. And interestingly enough, is that 100 average ADR from Device in this series?
He's back, baby. He's
That's
back.
a turnaround.
That's the thing. From yesterday and the day before, he was nowhere to be found. And I put him as one of my conditions, you know, for Astralis making it to the playoffs. And he turned up in every single one of those games.
And a man who showed up in the pre-game, actually, for this one, as a master of the game, was Dupree. And word on the street is, he's with us now. Hey, Peter.
Hello.
Okay, so you've got to talk to me. Mirage. First of all, you play Mirage versus tyLoo. A, why? B, what happened?
A, what happened? We don't really know. It all started out with us not hitting our shots, and I don't think we trusted each other enough. And like on TeamSpeak, we were just too stellar. We didn't really talk about what we wanted to do, so everyone just kind of held their angle. And if you do that against a really good Mirage team, then they're just able to do whatever they want. Like you don't destroy the build-up they do on their defaults, and well, they just hit their shots and we did not. So I guess that's what happened. And if in terms of picking Mirage, or not banning Mirage, I think we just felt that we could beat them on Mirage.
Yeah.
How rattled early were you guys? Because you brought the double AWP out that seemed relatively early within that map, and that to me like was kind of warning signs that you didn't feel things were going to be going as smoothly as they could have been. Obviously the scoreline was telling that, but was that like just your choice? Was that a game plan coming into this?
I think it was a mixture of things. We had a talk yesterday, and the way they approach, the way they just walk up middle or just walk in, like they like to take their like the duels just straight up with rifles. And if you just wait for them as CT with an AWP, you have a good chance of getting a pick. And that's what we felt like, and we can get a really good. If I was just covering B apps with an AWP, I had a really good idea what they were going, and we had Symphonics rotating around. And I think that's kind of the game plan we wanted to do, but obviously we just really didn't get to hit our shots, so we just got demolished in the beginning.
Yeah. Obviously, you would have liked to go out of the groups without losing a map, but how far do you guys feel you are from major winning form right now, considering you just had a break?
The thing is, I think we've been playing really good in practice, and we started out the tournament really good. And obviously, I think we played fine against North yesterday. We had a few ups and downs there, and then the fact that we started really bad on Mirage was not really something we wanted to. But I think we had a really good talk after we lost Mirage, and we just felt that we were back in shape when we actually started playing well. And I think the last two maps also showed that we were back in playing good Counter-Strike. So now I just basically hope we can continue doing that for the rest of the playoffs, and obviously also going into the major.
Dupree, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you in that Ericsson Globe. That is Astralis locked in for the playoffs. And I mean, he's right. They really did turn it around. You look at that. They say they had a big team talk, and it goes from a 16-13 loss, you lose 12 rounds on your CT side, to a 16-7, a 16-5. Comfortable.
That's definitely the case. The last two maps felt how we would have expected that whole series to be. Now, with that in mind, that's maybe why we're not going to talk about those two maps so much, because that's what everybody, including, I assume, all the viewers at home, would have been hoping was going to happen too. Yeah,
I mean, we got to see a little bit from tyLoo on Dust 2. Kind of interesting just to see if there's any changes, kind of different approaches on their T side. But I know that we do have a play to break down. Now, which map are you going for?
We're going with Mirage.
Mirage.
So the thing is, this is more of a talking point in the sense of, I was building it up that the top teams like Astralis might not be aiming to use their pocket strats, and this for me felt like a pocket strat to stay in this game against tyLoo. You can see all the smokes and flashes heading over towards that B bomb site, obviously, and this just to me is what I was talking to Dupree about, or what I guess the general theme is saving these strats for the major. And it felt like with all those set smokes, you can see it. If we just pause it here, this is all thrown from before they've like before they're even close to the bomb site. We've got a smoke for kitchen. We've got a smoke there as well. We've got the both for short. So normally we'd see these 2 smokes come in, and that's the normal, but they've actually blocked off everything. This means the rotation as they're coming in through kitchen, they either have to push through the smokes, or they have to, you know, just wait and allow those B bomb site players to get taken out. So in this regard, I think that maybe Astralis used one of their pocket strats to stay in this match, which means they were definitely feeling the pressure.
Dude, I'm watching that as well, and it's interesting because of those smokes, my thought was, okay, but surely the CTs are going to be pushing through them rather quickly. But no, Device is posted up in apps, Glaive gets to bench as soon as he can to watch door of kitchen, and the short guy's being held by Magisk in that off angle.
Yeah, all you have to do with that, and even if you use your Molotov as well, you know, you can Molotov off bench, you can Molotov off the truck and the balcony. At that point, there's very few angles to left to check, and that's what the flashes are for. The flashes push anybody else out of position. You jump into the site, you trade efficiently, and then the rotation is locked out. But in this regard, because it's off at the start of the round, the CTs can have a lot of utility for a retake, but maybe they're not expecting it, and it's harder to deal with.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well just to see that clearly they were feeling a bit hot under the collar.
That's just a theory.
I don't think it's a theory. I mean, you don't pull a page like that out against tyLoo. You probably don't plan to pull out a page.
You
like
probably
that.
don't plan it, but I'm not sure whether it's one of those pocket picks you're talking about.
Sure.
It could be a strat that I've used before or I've trained on, and it could be like the first time pulling it out just to see whatever it actually works in a pressured environment. But for Astralis, I'm quite confident, you know, that they don't need to do that in order to win against a team like tyLoo. That's the conversation we had as well. They should be able to win just by playing standard and default Counter-Strike.
That is a good point in the sense of we have watched a lot of Astralis in the last 6 months, and they haven't had to use a lot of their playbook because they either just wreck on their CT sides or they just build momentum off their T sides by winning the first gun round, and then from there they can just snowball and everybody's hitting their shots. So I think they probably have a lot in the playbook, but they've obviously made some adjustments, and I'm excited to see what we can get out of them at this tournament.
And I'm excited to see how our next game goes down, because coming up after the break, we have got a rather intriguing qualification match. Only one of these teams will be playing in front of the home crowd, the Swedish crowd, I should say. Ghost Gaming versus Na'Vi. We'll see how it plays out after the break.